Welcome back. Today we are tackling the n-queens 2 problem, specifically focusing on counting valid solutions. This is a classic hard-level backtracking problem that tests your ability to manage constraints efficiently. Let's define the task. You are given an integer and your objective is to place n-queens on an n by n chessboard. The catch is that no two queens can attack each other. Unlike the first version of this problem, we do not need to return the visual board layouts. We only need to return the total count of distinct solutions. To solve this, we must strictly adhere to the movement rules of a queen. A queen attacks any piece in its same row, its same column, or along any of its diagonals. If any two queens share these lines, the configuration is invalid. It is important to distinguish this from the standard n-queens problem. In version 1, you often have to construct strings representing the board. In version 2, we can optimize our approach because we only need to maintain a counter. We do not need the overhead of building and storing board states. The most effective way to solve this is using backtracking. The logic is simple. We try to place a queen. If it works, we move to the next row recursively. If we reach a state where we cannot place a queen safely, we backtrack, meaning we undo our last move and try a different position. Let's visualize this on a 4x4 board. We start at row 0. We place our first queen in the first column. This is a safe move. Once placed, this queen essentially blocks column 0 and the diagonals extending from it for all future rows. We move to row 1. We cannot place a queen in column 0 or 1 due to attacks, so we place it in column 2. However, when we try to move to row 2, we might find that every single cell is under attack. This is a dead end. We must backtrack to row 1 and move that queen to a new spot. Through this process of trial and error, we eventually find a valid setup where all 4 queens are safe. When we successfully place a queen in the final row, we increment our solution count by 1. Then, we backtrack again to see if other valid configurations exist. Here is the pseudocode logic. We define a backtrack function that takes the current row. We iterate through columns 0 to n. We use 3 sets to track occupied columns and diagonals in constant time. If a spot is safe, we add it to our sets and recurse. Crucially, after the recursion returns, we remove the spot from our sets to clean up for the next iteration. The time complexity is big O of n factorial. This is because in the first row we have n choices, in the next n-1, and so on. However, because we prune invalid branches early, it runs much faster than n factorial in practice. The space complexity is big O of n, used for our recursion stack and the sets to track constraints. To summarize, use constraint propagation with sets for speed. Remember the core backtracking pattern of action, recurse, and undo. For an extra challenge, you can replace the sets with bit manipulation integers to solve this even faster. But for most interviews, the set-based approach is perfect.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.